Hi, Dan Hunter here. So I wanted to talk about something for this video, and I'll do it in a couple different parts, but I wanted to get started. So as you know, I have the 347 stroker. I got an '86 Mustang that I've had since I was 16, 17 years old, and I'm 48 now, so I've had for a long time. Had it since I was in high school. So over the years, I've done a ton of upgrades, but before I even did the new motor build and everything, 86 and 87 cars were speed density cars. So it was how they measured the air to tell the computer how much fuel and stuff like that. To start doing any kind of modifications or cams or anything like that on an 86 or an 8750, one of the big things that you first have to do is upgrade the mass air. Upgrade it to mass air rather. So did that years ago, and I actually just kind of getting back in it. Not that I've been out of the game for a while, but I've been focusing on my other cars. I haven't been focusing on as much on the old 86. Obnoxious is what her name is. So I've gotten into it a little bit recently, trying to figure out, the car runs great. Runs strong, especially wide open throttle, all that. And it's got some inherent idle issues. Sometimes it's a little bit choppy, but it seems like it's more, especially after all, if I go out and I do a pull and I come to a stop, at that point it seems like, it just kind of gets a little choppy and kind of like, gurgles a little bit and so on and so forth. So it's been bothering me for years. I really haven't thought much of it. I don't drive the car a lot. I think last year I might have put 120 miles on it, and that's just doing some loops, just trying to, get the oils flowing and stuff like that. But I don't know what even made me think of it a few weeks ago. I started to do a deep dive on mass air sensors and idle issues and stuff like that, and I found a couple real helpful threads out there. So I wanted to, if anybody catches this video, I wanted to kind of, make it easy for you. O2 sensors play a huge part in these cars. So in 86 and 87, they're just a 2-wire system. They didn't have the heater wire. Not very smart as far as O2 sensors go. But being that this car was upgraded to an 89 computer system, a PCM, it actually should have been upgraded to newer O2 sensors. So I didn't read anything about that years ago when I did the mass air. Didn't talk about that. Didn't say anything about that. But let me tell you, it's important. From what I've read, I found a couple real good threads, like I said, on it. And I actually just ordered the parts for mine. I was hoping the wiring harness was going to be here today because it's Friday. It's my day off. It's February. Like I said before, I should be out snowmobiling, but it's going to be 52 degrees today, so no snowmobiling. So I figured I'd show a video, and I'll walk you out in the garage in a little bit. Give you a quick tour of the car in the garage. I got to get it up on the lift and stuff. But so what I do have, I figured while I'm doing the O2 sensors, because the wiring harness should be replaced too. So the wiring harness isn't here yet, just the O2 sensors and a couple other sensors I'm going to do too, but I really think it's going to be the O2 sensors. Once you do this, there's a couple things that you have to do. They talk a lot about this jumper wire, that if you don't do this jumper wire, you could burn your PCM out. So that's extremely important, which I'll go over in the video as I'm doing it once I do that. So stay tuned for that. But I just wanted to kind of get the ball rolling. And from everything I read, always try to stick with the manufacturer. So I did find some Motorcraft O2 sensors. So I plan on at least getting these installed today. I'll get it up on the lift. I got 2 new ones. I won't be able to do the wiring harness today, but I'll be able to get some of this other stuff done. I also have a new air idle control valve, which is easy to replace. I don't think I've ever replaced mine, so I figure it can't hurt. Parts for this car are not super expensive now. I think this was like maybe 40 bucks plus shipping. I also got a new EGR valve too. I figured, again, might as well install this, and I'll probably get the solenoid that controls this also. This goes on the back of the throttle body. I don't know. Some guys are putting plates. You can actually get a plate from LMR, Late Model Restoration, that goes on the back of the throttle body that will block that out, so you don't even need this. I don't know, maybe I should do that. I'm back and forth, so I don't even know if I'm going to install that, but I'm definitely going to install the new air idle control valve. So stay tuned. Thank you. Please subscribe. Okay, here we go. Just wanted to show you some pictures of the engine. That's the air idle control valve. That's the part that we're going to be replacing today. And here's the 70 millimeter throttle body that I'm running. So once I was able to
get the air control valve off. There was some corrosion. I ended up using emery cloth and a sanding block to get rid of it.
Right, that cleaned up pretty good actually. So what I did is I just took a little sanding block and just lightly sanded it just to clean it up. You want to make sure that it has a good, sits in there good. Just, I'm used to polishing and cleaning. That Edelbrock intake was actually just regular, pig metal, pot, whatever, regular aluminum. I actually sanded it, polished it. Same with the throttle body. Just wet sand in, Dremel tools, hours and hours and hours. It's like those valve covers they're actually factory OEM valve covers for this car. 1986 original equipment. Maybe a little cleaned up, but still looking pretty good. Yeah, that took a few hours. All right, let's get this reinstalled now. All right, so we're tightening that up with a 8mm. I just wanted to make a quick note as I do this. Afterwards, before I actually plug the connector back in, I will hit it. I always like to use a little dielectric grease. Just helps, for these low voltage wires, it helps make connections better. So I just wanted to make a little note of that. Okay, got that done. Like I said, the EGR in the back there, I'm still not sure if I'm going to do a block off or not, so I'm not going to do the EGR for now. I just did the IAC, the air control valve. So I have actually custom made a plate that covers that hole. As you can see, the MSD and the air filter stuck back behind the fender, which I also have this ram air system here that just feeds it some fresh air. Might help pick up a pound of boost maybe at a higher RPM. But all right, so now we just got to get her. Already got her set, so we just got to lift it up, and I'm gonna have to close the hood first and get her up on the lift. All right, let's get her up on the lift here. Let's see. Check. That looks good there. Let me check the other side. Looks there. Looks good there. It's nice and stable. Okay. Height requirement. That's all we got for height. But it's good. I actually use my computer chair, and it's just the right height where you can kind of like, sit in my computer chair and slide underneath there. So let's see. We'll get into these O2 sensors and see what it looks like. All right. All right. So here we go. So I got the car up. I had to turn the heat on. It's a little chilly, but I got the car up, I got the old wiring harness out, I got the old O2 sensors out, put the brand new Ford OEM made for an 89 Mustang, 89 and 90 Mustang, got those reinstalled. Before I wire the wire harness here, there's some, Ron Francis does a great job. I'd highly recommend, if you're going to do this, I would go through him. His stuff is really quality. Even if it's a few dollars more, small family-owned business. But he's the one that I found the threads on that the guy referred me to do this, and extremely important. Let me see here. I'll pull out the directions. So you get this, sends you the new loom. As you can see, very important. They talk about a jumper wire. So the jumper wire, he even gives you diagrams. He includes the jumper wire. so that way you make sure that you don't fry your PCM. I think what it does is it has to do with the resistance. So because I have now an 89 computer in my car, I'm gonna go with the 89 one. I'll try to get as close as I can so you can see. So let me see. Factory, that's what I had. I don't know if you can see or not. There's 3 holes open on the outside. That's what my car currently has. What it needs to have is this for the 89. So right there, you need to install that jumper wire for those, for the resistance for that model. So as you can see that, so following the directions, I was able to do that. Let's see here. So I just took this, just a little pick tool, a little body shop tool actually, and I pulled back the rubber insulator right there, and I was able to get these in, and as you can see, I already have one installed. See right there? And I just wanted to show you, see if we can get the other one. Got it through the grommet, and there it goes. I don't know if you heard that or not, but yeah, so it just clicked in. So now you can see those 2 outside. That's your jumper wire. And that's what it looks like. And then that's what it looks like. There you go. So I'm just gonna reinstall this insulator here. Get this back up in there. And then what I'll do is I'll zip tie these together, and then I'll start rerouting the wires and get them all zip tied up under there. And then we'll get her lowered down and fire it up. So I just want to get that reinstalled. There we go. It's in there nice and good. Because this will help keep everything secure, keep everything dry, keep water from getting out of there. All right. There we go. Okay. So there you go. There's your jumper wires in there. So I'll just put this back up, put a little zip tie in the end of it, keep everything together, and we're looking good. All right, we're getting closer. So I got it. I got everything, I believe, ran pretty good under here. So I can just plug these in afterwards. I don't use the low oil temp sensor. I'll show you underneath, but I have a 10 quart racing oil pan. It's got baffles in it, so basically inside the oil pan there's shelves, so that way idea is when you launch hard at a drag strip, all the oil doesn't go back because your pickup on these picks up the oil from the front of the oil pan. So this is a bigger oil pan, more capacity for cooling, and like I said, it's got those baffles in it for racing. So again, you know, I like I said, dielectric grease. I'm going to put a little dielectric grease on these connectors and try to get them connected here. So there's that. There. Probably already have some on it, it looked like. But like I said, this low voltage stuff, it just helps for the connections. Let's see if we can get it connected now. You know, doing this, lighting is always an issue. Never get enough light. Let's see if we can get that connected okay there. I also have everything rerouted here because I wanted the engine compartment as clean as possible, so I rerouted this stuff so it's not maybe as easy to get to as it should be. All right. So we got that connected. All right, that went well. Now let's see if we can go and connect right around. Get these O2 sensors connected back here. Dun-dun. All right. There we go. much grease I'm used to. Let's see here. And let's do this one. And afterwards I'll get these all, zip tied up nice and clean. Just get those routed and zip tied up, and looks like we're going to be in good shape. All right, let's get her down now and see what we got. I tell you, the lift is key. I can't tell you how many jobs I've done, laying on my back on a creeper and all that stuff. Like I'm sure many of you guys out there. These residential lifts are awesome. There she is. Perfect. So lift all the way down. Alright, cool. We'll get a video, we'll see how she runs now. So this is awesome. Like that's where she wants to be. Looks like we got it all figured out. So it was a combination between, I think the O2 sensors. I actually had to make a slight adjustment on my throttle position sensor because they're not supposed to read over 1. And this one was reading 1.01, so I made a little adjustment. I got it down to 0.93, which I was hoping to get it down to 0.90, but to do that I think I'll have to hollow out one of the screws to make a little bit more of an adjustment. But just taking it for 2 or 3 short rides, and everything seems good. She drops right back down to that. She likes to be right around 1100. It's hard to read, sorry. It's like 1030 to 1090. That's where it seems to balance out. So it's been sitting here idling for the last 5 minutes or so, and it's good. Air fuel, boost, temperature. Let's see. Awesome. Super excited. All right, so I just wanted to make one more adjustment. I was reading somebody happened to dial his car in at 0.977. He really liked it. He said it was more throttle responsive, so I wanted to get mine as close to that as possible. So I was able to make some more adjustments and get it to 0.971. So after that, you do have to disconnect the battery, let it set for 20 minutes to a half hour, hook the battery back up, and then go ahead and you're all set. Let her go, let her rip. So hopefully all this was informative for you. Sorry it's a little bit long, but we did cover quite a bit of material. Again, thank you very much for watching this, and please subscribe. Hopefully this was helpful. Thank you.